The Hawaiian assassin, Pono Pau, joining me, taking on Dorian Perez, disturbing the peace, power slap number 12 in that
Sir,
heavyweight division. My man, how excited are you to take on DTP?
I'm excited. It's a good match. It's down the lines of where we already know what kind of power he brings. He has a chin. Those things are big in this sport, and we just got to be prepared and got to be ready for whatever's coming towards us. First things first is that we said it in the very beginning. As at the end of Power Slap 10 is God will align me with whatever comes my way, and hopefully he gives me the strength and the power to last through it. So
Mhm,
Dorian is the next one, and it's going to be an amazing fight just because he's a good guy. He's a friend.
mhm. I mean, two guys from Cali. We've got the number one contender in Dorian, the number five in you in that heavyweight division. This one has the making of potentially being a historic fight, both from an entertaining standpoint as well as a skill standpoint. Both of you are going to put your chins on the line and your striking ability against each other. This is a classic OG season one versus kind of the newcomer into the division.
Bro.
You know, I mean, I don't know how big of a nostalgia guy you are, but have you thought about the potential of what this match could be and what it would set you up for next being victorious?
Yes, yes, it's always in the back of my mind of like where the journey takes me, right? And I just got to try to stay present in the moment and making sure that I stay focused, I stay active. I constantly am going out there and training. I mean, just like any other fight, it's the same way. We got to treat it the same exact way. We got to practice the same exact things, and then tweak as we go along and start to do the fine tuning. Obviously, given an opponent like Dorian Perez, that's a very strong man right there, and he's not one to take lightly. And Cooper wasn't like that either, and we said that about Cooper too. But as we progress and as we move on into the rankings, having a shot at the number one, I mean, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, there's only good things to be lined up after that, right? Possibly a title match. Who knows? But we'll take it for how it comes and how it's being given, and just make sure
Mhm.
that we stay vigilant in every move and every process, and just be grateful to God for being able to give these opportunities.
For sure. I mean, Damien Dibbell can expose weaknesses in a lot of guys. He didn't exploit too much in Dorian Perez, but
Hmm.
what have you learned from watching and studying that match that's going to help you in this one?
Rotation of movement, proper positioning, mindset. I think the mindset is the biggest one. Is that there was a lot of things that had happened. I was there at Power Slap 10, so you can kind of see the little antics in the background and the little movement that's been happening, and we just got to stay prepared. That's it. And you got to be open to whatever comes our way, and I really give it to where it's going to be more of like on the spot switches and details that I got to see immediately, and then be able to change it right there in that moment, and not hesitate.
Mhm. Do you think 3 rounds is going to be enough for this one?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think 3 rounds is going to be enough. We don't see I don't see it as because he's such a heavy hitter. I'm a heavy hitter. He has a chin. I've been practicing and doing my defensive side of it to where I can kind of dial into where I can take shots like that. So I already know that if it does stretch out that way, it's going to be brutal.
Mhm.
Two heavy hands.
For sure it is. Do you feel DTP's a step up in competition for you?
Yeah, of course. I have to agree with that. It's just is that being able to face somebody of this caliber so early in the game. I've only been here in the sport for over a year, season 3 to now, fighting against Cooper coming off of the season. And
Mhm.
I mean, it's this moment right now would be something where it would overwhelm a lot of people. Just understanding that like you got a big challenge to face at this moment, but I just got to make sure that I stay focused on what the plan is. Is that God already has aligned me for bigger things in the sport and in the industry, and
Mhm.
he's creating that path for me. And at this moment with Dorian, it's gonna I would potentially have wanted to see Dorian and to go up against Dibbell again, just to see where that the test of the chin and see what things have changed in that moment, right, from being from one event to the next. but I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be able to also stand in front of Dorian and prove that, the style, the technique, the mindset, it's huge. It's huge in this game. And I want to be able to, display this on this next one. So Power Slap 12 is going to be a very good card.
For sure. We talked to you a lot in the past about mindset. Do you really think that that is kind of your kryptonite? Like that's going to be your advantage. That's going to propel you to victory here is truly, what's up there in the dome.
I feel that with, proper training, making sure that it's consistent, going every single time, making sure that the right training is done. At the end of the day, once it's outside of the physical realm, right? I've trained, I've practiced, I've done everything that I can. There's no excuses. I can't. I put all my cards on the table, and my performance will speak for itself. But now, after the physical side of it, it's 100% mental. It's a mental game. I have to stay aligned with the way that this is and make sure that
Mhm,
there's no outside feelings, outside emotions, anything that, could play into something like this just because of him being such a heavy hitter.
mhm. I hear you. I know you're practicing, you're training, you're prepping for this. Like it's truly your job, your day job. I feel that you dedicate, you know, all available mental capacity to one envisioning and two realizing this into fruition for yourself.
Mhm.
I mean, I think it's understated a lot of the times, how much of I'll say an advantage, but how much it can truly help somebody. Being in Las Vegas, home turf, I spoke to, the chief about Vegas, kind of being the ninth island of Hawaii, uh,
Mhm.
as well. Do you feel like all of that really preps you and puts you on, I'll say a pedestal to truly get the best you come March 7th?
I feel like a lot of the competitions in Vegas will be very strong for our, the Islander community going into these fights, just because of the fact that it is the ninth island and is very Hawaiian dominant. And a lot of people have moved from the island to move to Vegas and made it their new home. So it's
Mhm.
almost like playing in the Super Bowl and being at home team.
Yeah.
You're the home team at that moment, and the crowd will ignite and be able to put all that feeling and that vibe and that energy into the room. And just like Power Slap 10, that was it was an amazing experience. And to be able to look around, even though being fully focused, be able to open my eyes and look around and see how many smiling faces and cheering people and just people standing, people on their feet because they know that the battle is real. And this is something of more of a performance side of it, where somebody's
Mhm.
going to go out there and really go and showcase what they've got. And I can see that already with just being Hawaiian. We pride ourselves on these things. And you know it's to speak on what you said earlier, it's like this sport, in the very beginning, it wasn't what I thought it was. I really thought it was just me going to be going out there to chase the title and battle all these, just try to take out as many opponents as possible. Kind of coming
Mhm.
in with an aggressive and an angry mindset, and just pushing. But
Yeah.
being on season 3 and being able to experience a lot of people and noticing that, like, how things are really truly are, you get to see it for the truth that it is. And now, being able to affect a lot of lives, not just only in the Power Slap game, but also in the fans and in the crowd. There's a lot of people out there that are looking for answers too, and they find themselves falling short on things that they've tried to progress in life. And
Mhm.
I love that now I have the platform to be able to go out there and speak on things and really not hold anything back. No lies, nothing where I have to put anything behind a closed door. It's open.
Oh, we lost him there momentarily. Let's see if we can get him back. We know that obviously the mental side of Pono Pau's game is one of his strong suits that has allowed him to continue to climb up through the ranks in the heavyweight division. He is somebody who is a warrior and a competitor. DTP is also a warrior and a competitor, and a guy that is willing to die up there on stage. We know that two warriors going into this one. one Mexican, one Polynesian. It is going to be definitely something to behold in Las Vegas on March 7th. Overall, this match in the heavyweight division has huge implications in the potential getting a title shot against Damian Dibbell in the near future. And this performance is going to be incredibly important. Pono, we got you back.
There we go. Received the call right in that moment, right? So
of course, that's usually the way it works.
but that's what it is that it's now being able to speak and open up that part where, you know, people need to hear the truth sometimes and live in the truth and live in what it is. So I'm glad that going out there and being able to have a platform like this is going to be able to not only have an effect and an impact on the Power Slap community, but also the fans and people out there in the world.
For sure. Dorian Perez, watching this interview, what do you want to say?
My man Dorian, I appreciate you, brother, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that you've been able to accept this match and really look at me as an equal opponent. And hopefully, when we go out there, we'll be able to showcase our skills and really show what it really takes to be the number one.
Awesome, Pono. Appreciate you joining me. Much love, much respect. Train safe, travel safe, and look forward to seeing you there at the Slap News tailgate party at Stadium Swim, March 6th.
Yes, sir.
For the event. Take care.
All right, Corey.